If you love entertainment, current events, and Hollywood, don't miss Creator to Creators, hosted by the filmmaker Meosha, known for the Shudder hit documentary Horror Noir and the acclaimed film Anatomy of an Anti-Hero, Redemption. This show features interviews with filmmakers and creatives from around the globe. Join the fun with guest celebrities and gain valuable insights. Subscribe now and follow Creator to Creators.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Creators to Creators today. Today we have a special guest in the building. Super excited. So please tell me, introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about, let's go to the beginning, a little bit about your childhood. Like, where are you from originally? And how did you kind of find your way into doing the things that you're doing now?
So my name is Travis Storm. I am from Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I have been doing music since the age of 9.
Wow.
So I started doing music in probably like right at the tail end of elementary. And then since then, I did music all the way up until 2018, which got me right here into writing and content creating. So that's pretty much what that is.
Nice. Was there, okay, so with content creation, because I totally relate. I totally relate with content. When I was 16, roughly 15, I was doing a lot of what I always say when YouTube was really good at the time.
Yeah. It's a lot a lot of ads now, man. YouTube has a lot of ads. Honestly, YouTube is I first got on YouTube because I didn't know how to tie a tie. And it was like I was like 16 years old. And I was like about to go to a little business meeting. And I didn't have anybody to teach me how to tie a tie. And I had a friend come to me and tell me, he was like, hey, look, you can go on this thing called YouTube. See, at the time there was going this thing called YouTube. So you can go on this thing called YouTube and it'll teach you how to tie a tie. I'm like, oh, cool. So I go on there, how to tie a tie. And then this guy showed me how to tie this tie. And that every time somebody brings up where YouTube started or the origins of YouTube, that's the first thing I think of is me getting on this thing called YouTube, learning how to tie a tie. So
that's incredible. I mean, and look how far it's come. It's like we're so much money now.
It is. I was going to say, man, coming on here with you, first of all, I see a lot of people first, they have to thank you. I want to thank you for having me on this show. I want to say also it was nerve-wracking because I was doing music for so long and I'm used to the interviews back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm used to the interviews. I'm used to sitting down. I've been on a lot of little shows and a lot of stages, but you are my first interviewer outside of like my brothers and stuff like that I've had in so many years. So I'm sitting over here like before. That's why I walked in at 10 because I'm like, is this too much going on in my background? Is it too cluttered? I had water. I was like, should I have it in a bottle? Is it going to make too much noise? So I had a necklace on. I was like, let me take this off. It's too shiny, So I just want to let you know, man, I'm happy to be here with you, and I can't wait to, continue to talk to you out this interview. But I just wanted to thank you for having me on first.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no, well, I'm honored. Thank you for seeing the value of the show and wanting to come on the show and talk with the bean.
Yes. My daughter's nickname is that.
Oh, see, this is a sign. This is
I just realized that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I always say that, it's interesting, starting when you did music and then coming in and doing all the interviews and doing that world and now this world as a content creator, director, writer. I mean, the fact that you've done so many episodes it's pretty impressive. So what made you say, you know what? Like, this is the format I want to go to. Because, I understand it. A budget, definitely doing a series like that would be super expensive. So kudos to you for getting it out there. Like, I'm such a believer of like, if you can't, don't wait by the phone, you just make it happen,
So what got me here? So again, we'll walk through it a little bit. Yeah. So I did music. When I was a kid, about 16 years old, that's when I got on the Apollo. It was like the Apollo came to Virginia. It was like a local thing, and I
Nice.
got on the Apollo and I tried to compete for that. I lost, but I didn't lose. I didn't lose. I felt I won that, but that's another story. Okay,
There you
so
go.
we got on the Apollo. I went on to, I don't know if you know, but 106 in Park, BT 106.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was Freestyle Friday champion on there in 2009. So every Friday they would have um guys come on and rap against each other, and it was all Freestyle Friday. And then I became champion on there. Started writing with a bunch of different people, or for bunch of different people, I should say. So I've always been a writer.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't never always been a writer when it comes to shows, but I've always been a writer. So
Right.
I'm writing for a bunch of different artists and things like that. Fast forward to about 2018, I'm messing around something called Fortnite. I'm saying something called because at the time I didn't know what it was. So something called Fortnite comes out. My brothers are like, you need to play this game called Fortnite. I wasn't a big gamer. So I'm like, cool, I guess, man. I'll get on this Fortnite thing. I got on this Fortnite game. You know, that's how I looking at it at the time. And I'm playing it. And I started messing around with some videos, you know, just having some fun, just, you know, talking, being me. That's not an egotistical answer, but I have a good personality. So I'm out
Yes.
there, I'm putting myself out there and people started liking it. So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to start making skits, you know, out of this Fortnite game. They started loving that. And I mean, when I'm saying like the plays are coming in, I'm millions of plays. Followers are coming in, which MrBeast, I didn't even know who MrBeast was at the time. People in the comment section are like, hey, MrBeast follows you. He's like your content. I'm like, I don't know who that is. So I look it up. I'm like, oh shoot, this is a big deal. This guy is like the YouTuber in the world. So I'm like, okay, I'm on to something. So I started doing skits and my creativity came out and I'm releasing what they are calling episodes, but at the time I'm just having fun releasing a story.
Right.
Started telling the story, and next thing I know, people became invested in my characters. And the dog that I presented named Chilla, it was one of, you know, the dog that I had called Chilla in one of the Fortnite series that I had. They became invested. I would kill off a character and they would hate me online. Like I would wake up and they're like, I can't believe you did that to that character. How dare I'm like, wow, these guys are
really invested.
Yes, they're invested in this. So then I started saying, man, you know, Trav, maybe you should stick with what you're doing because you seem like you have more success here than you did in music. Because in music, it's music.
It's another world.
It is a whole nother world. So I stuck there, and then I've been here ever since, and I've been telling stories ever since. But I feel like, and I hope I'm not talking too long. I feel like, as a kid, though, going through the traumatic experiences that I had with my father, and the abuse that I had, I've always told stories. I never wanted to be in the world that I was in as a little kid, because, you know, I have my father, he's alcoholic, and then the issue that I'm having, the issue that I'm having with my mother and things like that. So with that being said, in my mind as a kid, I don't want to be in that world. So I developed all these different worlds. I would come home from school and I was Neo from the Matrix. I remember that. I was Blade before, and I'm all these characters in my backyard or in my room. And in my mind, I'm playing as these different characters and I'm writing these different stories of what I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. And I'm outside with sticks and I'm hurt and I'm limping around and I'm acting there. But I never looked at it like this should be a profession. You should be an actor. I looked at it as I'm just having fun because in the environment as an African American, especially a little boy, we have basketball, football, rapper.
Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah,
as long as you're one of those, Travis, you're fine.
Yeah.
Everything else you're doing, I mean, not an actor, you're not a writer. Are you serious? Writers don't look like me. So like, yeah, man, that's why I'm excited to be here. That's why I'm excited to be writing is because I never really thought that I could be this. So.
Wow. And thank you for sharing that because I really feel like that's a really and I'm curious of why that is. I do have another show that I actually do talking to particularly just Black men called Cancel Culture.
Okay.
And what it's like life is in through the eyes of Black men. And I'm always curious about that. Why do you think that's a society thing? Do you think that's societal pressures? Do you think that's just something that was kind of ingrained in us subconsciously? through media?
I agree. I think so, but I believe that. So here's the thing, and this is one of the things I was actually speaking to with my wife about. When you are where you are right now, if you ask your mom, I'm just gonna name a recipe right now. Let's say biscuits is the recipe. When you say, Mom, where did you learn how to make these biscuits? She says, my mother passed this down to me. You ask the mother, which is your grandma, where did you learn how to, like, what made you put this recipe together? I don't know. I got it from my mother. Then that great grandmother says, I don't know, I got it from, and you'll keep going down the list until you get to the end. And at the end of it, it will tell you, I don't know, this is all I had. I had these 2 ingredients and I said, I'm making food. I'm making this, which became a recipe for you guys. And why does that kind of correspond with this is because it's all we know. You know, it's all we know and it's all we pass down. We know, I feel like as a Black man in America, as an African American, we know we're good at rapping. That's a known thing. And it's gotten us out of the predicaments that we've been in. Stick with that. Basketball, the same. Football, the same. There's not many writers. If in, you know, the environments that we were in, if writing was what was getting us out of our places that we were in, we would all be inspiring to be writers. But I do think that society, the country as well, kind of puts this little clamp on where they feel we should be.
Right.
And since we learned that we can grow out of that, we won't even dare try to attempt this over here because we're trying to get out of our environment.
Right.
We're not trying to make new ground. I'm not trying to struggle until I'm 50 years old, hoping that I broke through and changed the world. We're not thinking of that. We're thinking, I'm getting older. I need money. I have to support my family. I want to be happy. I want the finer things in life. What is the way to get me there? And society has told us those things. These are the things that help you get there. That's why IT techs and all these business owners and stuff like that, that's not our normal go-to because we don't see much of us like that inside society. So we're trying to stick with where we feel the most comfortable at. That's going to help us get out of our environment. And that's what I feel.
Very well said. Yeah, and I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Wow, that was great. You got to come on this show too. You got to come on that one.
I would love to be on there, man. I love
definitely. Yes. I will definitely talk after this for sure. So I really like what you did. You took matters into your own hands, and I feel like that is it. Not everybody has that. I think that's something that's innately in you, or you have it or you don't have it, kind of thing. Like I'm okay. I'm gonna figure out my situation. I like this. I'm gonna just make it happen. So you getting the views. MrBeast is following you, which is really impressive. Congratulations on that. So when did you start to say, okay, well, I'm going to switch this to from Fortnite to, I think it was GTA.
Where I'm at now.
Yeah, and that's impressive too.
Because I'm sorry to cut you off. Were you about to say something?
Oh no, I was saying just like the segue of like just switching it from.
Okay, making sure I didn't miss an important segue right there. So MrBeast following, and this is one of the things I try to tell a lot of creators and a lot of people, man. We always want that that nod from somebody that's higher than us in our profession, and the nod from MrBeast did about that much. You know, there's nothing to MrBeast. It's not at all, but it's how we have to work our hardest to grab those fans and keep those fans. When Fortnite fell off, which is, you know, it tends to do that. Fortnite fell off, so did the fan base that I have. Because at the moment in time, I was the best thing smoking. I went viral for so many different videos.
Nice.
I'm on the front of Snapchat and things like that. I'm thinking that sky's the limit. But then the game tanked, and then I'm like, oh, dang, you know, this is it right here. So what led me to GTA is because that game was still moving and wasn't really the game. The thing is, what I try to tell people, especially my little brothers, you have this in you. Writing is not something that I feel that you just do because I'm just going to be a writer because I need to get groceries and I'm just going to be a writer because I need to support. No, writing is something that's in here. It's something you do. I opened that in here. I told the little kid that didn't know he can be this, you could write. And when we go back to you yourself, I know you know this because I know what you do. I did my research on you. You know the budgeting it takes to try to do these stories and make these stories come to life. The directors like yourself and the brilliant writers like yourself, they have to, if you thought of an idea, I'm going to make a movie about sharks, I don't know, and you thought of that idea, you have to now, once you go through all the steps to making that idea, you know, the storyline and creating your plot and characters, you have to now fund it. What's going to be I got to go buy this, buy that. I got to go, you know, cast these actors. I don't really have to do that. I'm digital. So I get to think, I can think of an idea right now, go run and create it and be done with it in like, you know, the next day or whatever, how long it takes. I don't have, you know, yes, we spend our money because we have to pay for things in this game and pay, but that's not your type of budget. You guys are spending thousands and millions of dollars, camera crews and things like that. And I don't have to do that. I'm doing everything myself. So that's one of the benefits that I have. But once I opened up that chamber and told the little me that you can be this writer and you can make these imaginations come to life, because that's the difference between writing and storytelling. A lot of people don't know, you know, you could be a writer, but being a storyteller is not the same as being a writer. People don't know that. But now that I've told people that, hey, I can be a storyteller and a writer, I couldn't close that door. It's been open. It's a part of me now. So I went to GTA not because the game was better or whatever it was. It was because it's the place that I could literally write the best. I have more, I have less limitations over there, and I can expand my my ideas and my imaginations for the world. And I didn't want to stop writing. I didn't want to stop creating. And now, since it's a part of me, I have to. Just like I have to wake up and eat, I have to write and I have to create stories. So that's what led me over there.
No, I love, and that's, yeah, I mean, it looks amazing.
Thank you so
The
much.
quality,
Thank you.
and just the voiceover. I mean, in the world, like you said, the worlds that you're creating, because I believe GTA is like, I mean, I have seen, I mean, they just made a new one. So all these like new upgrades, like the quality of the character.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day when GTA was like,
yeah.
But they've come a long way with their,
They did. Absolutely.
technology. It's pretty
Absolutely.
impressive. So with that, when creating that world, how did you find, because there's a lot of characters. I mean, what, like voiceover actors, you're like, I mean, I'm sure you voice over some of the actors as well, but that's a lot of characters.
Every actor that you hear on all of my episodes is me.
What?
Yeah, every actor. When we go to Conquer Ave and things like that. Yeah, when we go to like Conquer Ave and things like that, like I have so many different characters. So you obviously, what I've been doing, and this is what I say, like I obviously you could tell the imagination of me, the younger me. Every character is Travis. Like every main character, the name stays the same. That's me. And I play different Travises for the world. So this Travis is going to be this. This Travis is going to be that. But then I involve all the other characters, and really how I ended up voice acting all my characters is really I don't want to say a selfish reason, but it was because relying on so many other people makes it to where now I can't move as fast as I want to. So I'm in the room and I'm like, we're going to have to figure this out. So if I have to sit there and I'm voicing Travis like this, fine. And I'll run and I'll voice a guy named Paul, and he talks a little like this.
Wow, impressive.
So when you have the Conquer Ave, Travis is talking to him, and he's like, all right, Travis, if that's what you want to do. Then I'll have Murphy or Calvin, and he's like, Detective Murphy, my name is Calvin Murphy, my first name is that. And I'll have him talking. And then I'm going through all these different voices.
That's so impressive.
That being said, I voice every actor in there or every character that you see. And then I ran across a thing with AI, because AI has been insane now, scary insane.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. They can make me and you here talking. And we were like, when did we do this interview? Because I don't remember that. Yeah. So I was able to utilize that to my own advantage. And what I do with the AI is I still give them the inflection. So if I'm I'm a female talking, and I'm like, you better not be going in. If I'm doing all of that, the AI will grab it and create it to being a woman doing it instead of all of that. But you still have to do the inflections. You still have to do the emotions. So that's how I'm able to voice the females. But every character in there, the emotions and inflections, that's all me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, I literally was gonna ask you an AI question, but that has definitely you answered my question. It's kind of crazy, like how the lot. I get a lot of people say that they're very nervous with the AI and how advanced it is. But I do understand the like you said, it's super helpful. You can cut down production costs. You don't have to wait for actors to get the lines to you within a couple weeks, and it is that. So I think there is pros and cons to it.
Well, that's the thing too. Like a lot of people, social media has ruined the world to a certain degree. And I kind of example it like cars. We need cars, I feel, to get to the store, to get to work, etc. But you can get in a car, go 100 miles an hour and abuse that privilege. And now you're crashing into a family, or something detrimental. That's social media. Right. You can get on it and get to where you need to get and utilize it for what you need to utilize it for. But if you're getting on it and you're driving 100 miles an hour, you're crashing into a family, metaphorically speaking. So a lot of people, they AI is going to ruin us. AI is going to kill us. Social media. Yeah, because we're using it, or you're using it the improper way. We needed it. We have it to excel because of social media is the reason why me and you are here right now. Go back in the 90s, you and I would have had to fly out wherever we was, sit there. We'd have had makeup artists. The budget would have been like, look, I don't know if this is perfect. With that being said, me and you can say, hey, do you want to talk at 9? No, 9:30. Good. Okay, great. Meet me on Zoom. Here's the link. So with that being said, that's a good thing. It gets you out there, it gets me out there. So I can't hate on social media for that or the technology for that. But that's what I mean. I think a lot of people give it a lot of negative feedback, but at the same time, these same people give it negative feedback. The same people on the phone, they're literally
what you're preaching.
telling us how bad it is at the same time. Social media is ruining us and they're on it. So like, I don't know, but yeah, man. So I feel about social media.
I know, but you're right. It is those kind of, you're right. It is the thing is like social media does play this, like, it's like this, they push this, like this overall narrative, like, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible. But then it's like, I understand why actors hate it. I get why a lot of actors hate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the sense of, I mean, I was on a shoot recently and the director, he's in the little chair and he's showing you, like, he's like, look at this, cool technology thing. So he had this actress like just stand on the blue screen, and then literally he's like, okay, you're done. He gets her her likeness and he kind of literally duplicates her face onto this like app. And then like, it's like, what's happened? You don't really need actors. So I get in that sense, the possibility of actors not
that's not good. That part's not good. Yes. And then not to mention, it's like, now when you have a court case and somebody's like, listen, I didn't write that, or that's not me, I have to sit back and be like, hell, he might be right.
Right.
That may not be him. Back in the day, it's like, nah, bro, that's you, that's your face, that's you. But now it's like, nah, that could be a whole different person on there. You know what I'm saying? So that's the scary part. But that comes from the people that are abusing it. Because I mean, I'm not trying to go too graphic, but my shows are heavily on women. I have 2 daughters. I have a son too. I don't want to leave him out, but I have 2 daughters and my wife as well. I enjoy and I have to create strong women in all of my stories. You go through one of my stories, I'm telling you, you're not going to see it. You're going to be like, listen, man, Travis has like every character in there. A woman has a purpose and they're powerful. They're strong.
Love that.
Because I feel like that's not depicted a lot. And
it's not a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah. I'm not even going to get to them Perry movies.
I know. I just had to do it.
It's not depicted in that. And when I see people like Viola Davis, one of my favorite actors, when I see them and they're on social media and they're explaining this, I'm like, listen, man, I know maybe I might not reach the heights I want to reach, but it's important to me for you. When you see my work, you see these strong characters, these women coming in. Because in my mind, I'm just like you would cast a woman or a strong female role. I'm casting these female roles, and I'm casting these strong women to play these roles. But back to stay on the track of what we were saying, it did suck to see AI was utilizing these women's likeness and creating these obnoxious things, for the sake of editing my words on the show. But they're creating this crazy stuff with these women's bodies and celebrity women bodies, and they're utilizing and they're selling that. That's what I mean by AI being over the top. It's like you're and if I like Bean and I love her interviewing or whatever the case may be, and let's just say I'm a big fan of you, back how we used to do it, we got your poster on the wall,
right.
It's whatever picture you took, just like you have the flannel picture up there right now. That's the poster I have on my wall. Now they got AI where I'm able to take your clothes off.
Oh, whoa.
All this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, even though that's not you, that's you.
Right, I see what you're saying.
And that's an invasion of privacy. And that's where I'll be thinking that's where I say that AI sometimes is going way the heck off, and I don't even know why I'm saying AI. It's not like AI as a person out there doing it. That people are taking AI and they're doing that wrong, right. And they're making a bad rap for it. But they definitely, it has its benefits, and there is some very dark places that the AI has taken us as well too. So.
Absolutely. So, I mean, for those listeners out there, I see this background of a smiley face. Happy, yes. By the way, your series. Tell me a little bit about that. What inspired that series? And
Happy.
Yeah.
Happy. So Happy is an anti-hero, just like Batman or the Punisher. Nice. And what inspired that is, again, I'm able to be whatever I want to be. Yeah. So I said, Chadwick, rest his soul, when he became Black Panther, it was a big deal. And why it was a big deal is because we have not seen people like us, those type of heroes. So that's why it was emotional to us. So with that being said, when I got around to creating Happy, I say, I want something too where I can say I played this hero, or I played this anti-hero, or some type of comic book inspired person for people like me, to see us in that type of role, or to see my skin color, I should say, in that type of role. So that's what inspired me making Happy. I love the show. I think Happy is an amazing write. And to segue from Happy to going to where we're at now with the new show, Moonrunners, a lot of people, they're like, Travis, man, Happy was so good. Why are you writing Moonrunners? Same people that said No Dragons Allowed, which was a show that I had about a girl that's a woman that's a dragon living on this island, and the boyfriend, the man that she has, is trying to protect her identity from people knowing that she is one, and because they would kill dragons on that island. They want to get off the island and go back to civilization, but in order to do that, civilization has cut them off and won't allow them. So they have to make sure all dragons are obliterated. But, when I made No Dragons Allowed, people were like, why are you making No Dragons Allowed? I made that and it became amazing. Then I moved to the Apple. Why are you making the Apple? You should stick with No Dragons Allowed. I made the Apple and they said, the Apple's amazing. Then I moved from the Apple. Why? So sorry about that. So the never ending story is you keep switching stories. You keep making stories. And here's the thing about that. When people say, climb that mountain, it's a big mountain for you, climb that mountain, and you try to climb it and you fall and you're like, I just can't do this. They'll be like, oh, you got to motivate yourself. You got to find it within to climb that mountain. Okay. What's the weather like that day? What tools do I have? How are my knees? How is my heart? Is something going on? Like, let's just say my children are sick. I can't mentally be there. What people have to understand is sometimes it's not motivation that needs to keep you with the story. Sometimes you don't have the tools to stick with the story. Right. And I am writing. I am not Tyler Perry, right? I am not these writers. I'm learning, and you're literally watching me. You can go online and start from the beginning of when I started writing to now. You can't do that with a lot of writers. You can
That's
start
true.
from the beginning of my story to now, and you are going to see the difference, a huge difference of my storytelling. Why? Because I started listening to writers such as yourself. I started watching directors. I started learning what color grading is, and I'm doing that. I started learning what sound editing is. I do my own sounds. All the sounds that you hear on my show is literally made by me. I'm doing all of those sounds.
That's
so
amazing.
I'm learning this. I didn't have the tools.
Right.
Happy is a big mountain. You know, Happy could be the next Batman. Happy could be the next Punisher or the next Black Panther. But I didn't have the tools to climb that mountain. It wasn't no motivation. It's just that as I'm sitting back and I'm watching Happy, I'm like, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
That's a mistake. But I didn't catch those mistakes before because I'm still learning.
Right.
So since I am, as you being a writer and stuff yourself, we can't just jump in the story and start changing everything about it because we learn something new, because then they're like, oh, this is not the same story. What's going on? So I have to sometimes move to a different story because for you, the audience, y'all are going to benefit. And why? Because when I move to that other story, you're going to now say, why did he make another one of this? Because I'm keep evolving. I'm going to keep climbing. I'm going to keep climbing. So if the people allow me to keep climbing, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be it. And I really feel like Moonrunners is going to showcase everything that I learned so well. I was looking at the pilot of it, and it's amazing compared to where my other pilots was. And that was a long-winded answer as to Happy to now what that is all about and why we are here. But yeah, Happy is this is actually something my daughter and my wife drew me for my birthday. So
I love that.
Yeah. I love it. So that's why I was like thinking, I had too much stuff in the background. And I was like, if I take this down, though, this is disrespectful. Like, this is my gift. But yeah, that's where I got from there to there. And I'm glad that you asked that question, because I've been wanting to voice that opinion on that for so long, because I've kept myself with the story sometimes because I didn't want to let people down. I'm like, I can't write another story because they're going to be upset, because they're going to be like, oh, now he's on to another story. But I'm learning and I'm evolving. And before, I had ideas to do a vampire story, which is Moonrunners, for so long. And I could never do it. I had no tools to do it. I didn't know how to do, I just didn't know how to portray the vampires correctly. So I skipped it. And now here we are, because I finally have the tools to climb that mountain. So now I'm able to, I'm able to do that. So I'm happy about that.
I love that. And that's a great, I mean, it's really, seriously, I think that's beautiful that you just kept it going. I think a lot of times people feel the pressure of people or the viewers, and they're like, oh man, this is a lot. It is pressure. It is pressure to keep, putting content out and always evolving. But I love that, I was watching something the other day, and it was like an interview. She was saying that, even if you don't have the tools, just do it, just don't. I think some people get caught up in the head of like, oh, it's not perfect, it's not good. I have films out there that I'm so embarrassed about. People can go back to when I first started, and then my directorial debut, then going into, more professional, doing stuff for television. It just changed. And I think that's just the natural progression. And I think if you never stop, you do get better.
That's why we have to, and this is some of the, coming into your world, because I believe you were probably here before me. Coming into your world, this is the balance that we have to play as writers and storytellers. We have to play the middle, because first of all, we're never going to be satisfied with our work. It don't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I was just watching the story writer, showrunner for the Penguin show. She was happy with so much stuff, and the world loves it. They think this is the best. We're never really truly happy 100%, but we have to play that middle. So we have to play that middle of where we know where we're not happy enough to keep learning and keep progressing. Because one thing you don't want to be is the one that says, oh, this is perfect. 100%. This can't be fixed. This is what? Fix what? This is amazing. You don't want to be that person. So you don't want to be that. And then you also don't want to.
And you turn to somebody, I'm not going to say their name, but
Hey, don't put that.
I'm not doing it.
I don't want this to turn into that.
I know. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. I don't want this to be that Cat Williams. But do we have
his video's gonna go viral though? I'm just kidding.
Hey, yeah, no, it could work for both of us. You know what I'm saying? We both trying to come up. But we don't want to also go so far over here
Yeah.
to where everything we do is criticized. Like we like, oh, this is not good enough. Oh,
Right.
and this I start over. So we have to play that middle to make sure we get what we need to get out of it. So that's where I'm gonna tell you, man, as a rapper, musician, I don't even want to say rapper because I did a lot of different music, pop, rock, you name it. But as a writer for music and a writer to storytelling, it's a different beast. It's insane. I can write a song like that. It sounds good. You cannot do try to do that with storytelling if you want. Like I could write a song and just me and Bean, what do you mean? Oh, this is dope. This song is hard. I try that with storytelling. They're like, hold on a second. So you mean to tell me, first of all, that's impossible. Second of all, this show doesn't even connect to that one because in this one, he said, and it's just like, you're down a wormhole. You have to pay very close attention to how you're storytelling that because I've looked at a story and I'm like, I messed up so bad that I called the character the wrong name in the first episode. Like the first episode, they're one name, and the rest of the season, they're a whole new name. And I was like, Trav, how did you miss this? Because you can't go in and just be jotting things down and do it. And that's something I'm learning. You have to kind of like, you got to sit back, structure that, look at that, and then make it because it's a different beast. Storytelling is, man.
And you're doing it. You're doing an amazing job. Seriously, great stuff. And I could literally, I could talk to you all day. I would definitely get you on that show. Definitely, because I'd love to pick your brain about a lot of different topics.
Of course.
This was lovely. Oh my God. I feel like this is crazy how fast 30 minutes go by. But please tell us where people can find you on social media. Yeah,
so you can look me up, Travis Storm on YouTube. Look me up for on Instagram at the same name, Travis Storm. That's usually the things I use is Instagram and YouTube. So
okay, nice. Oh my God, it was so lovely meeting you and talking to you about your journey and continue your success and I'm gonna watch your stuff now that I know who you are. I'm excited for you. This is
thank you. I really believe you'll like the new show. Moon Runner is going to be amazing. To cap that off, it's just it's a vampire and he controls the city. Nobody knows that he controls the city, and we're gonna go down that dark path of that. So I think it's gonna be a really, really good show, man. And I think that what makes for these little things, we had such a good conversation. That's why we ran so much. Or I ran so much. So it's good speaking to somebody like you or like yourself. And I do wish you luck on everything that you're doing as well in the future.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you all for listening. And always remember to live, love, laugh. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.